Sands of time blowing across the beach. Sometimes it's lies they little out.
Welcome, Warriors. This is Outreach Warrior, Episode 9. I am your host, James Baker. Today on the show, there's a few things I want to talk about. First thing I want to talk about is our upcoming meetup for Outreach Warrior. Then we're going to talk a little bit about a huge subject that I feel isn't really talked about that much, and that's the issue of human trafficking, which I am learning quite a bit about and how it plays a huge part in this whole aspect of what we're trying to do. And then we're going to finish up the show talking about the exploitation of people in human trafficking, and I'll get into that in a little bit later. But first of all, I want to talk about our first Outreach Warrior meetup. Privately, I've been doing a little fundraiser on the side. I'm calling it Project Clean. Project Clean, we talked a little bit about this, me and Tom, my producer, about how such a big thing is people feeling clean. People out on the streets, not having a place to wash their clothes, not having a place to shower, just that urge to feel clean. So, privately, I've done a little fundraiser. I've had some great people donate some money, and the plan is to take that money and we're going to go buy some hygiene products. Just a whole bunch of them, soap, deodorant, things like that. We'll have a complete list in the near future. And we're hoping to get this done by the end of May, beginning of June. And that will be taking place in downtown Orlando. If you'd like more information on this, please feel free to email us at outreachwarrior@gmail.com. So that's the info on Project Clean. It is a work in progress. Hopefully it will be a success, and we will keep you posted on that. Now, for the main topic today, human trafficking. Different people might have different opinions of what this means. I sure did. I thought it meant just one thing, but there's actually a lot of meanings behind it. I have some information taken from FLDOE.org about the definition of human trafficking. And this is under Florida law. Florida law defines human trafficking as a form of modern-day slavery. Victims of human trafficking are young children, teenagers, and adults. Thousands of victims are trafficked annually across the international borders worldwide. Many of these victims are trafficked into the States. Victim of human trafficking also includes citizens of the United States and those persons trafficked domestically within the borders of the United States. The legislature finds that victims of human trafficking are subject to force, fraud, corrections, and the purpose of sexual exploitation or forced labor. So that kind of covers a wide list of things that fall under the umbrella of human trafficking. For me, what I have experienced with the people that I have worked with is that it's mostly prostitution. A lot of the young people, ladies that I have contact with, that I work with, that I have worked with, have been subjected to this, and their stories are absolutely heartbreaking. It goes on all over, and it's actually hard to believe. If you haven't heard the stories and read the statistics, it's hard to swallow. But also here on the Florida's webpage, there are signs of human trafficking. How can you maybe possibly spot this out in someone you might have suspicion that they are being trafficked? Poor mental health is a huge one. Is fearful, anxious, depressed, submissive, tense, are always nervous, exhibits unusual fear or anxious behavior after being around law enforcement. Also avoids eye contact. This is one that I've seen. People that have had this will not look you in the eye. Poor physical health, lack of health care, appears malnourished, they're not being taken care of. Shows signs of physical or sexual abuse, physical resistance, and may have been prone to torture. It's scary, but it's real. It happens. The last few days, I heard about an instance where a human trafficking ring was being run out of a gas station that you would visit normally and not think anything about this. But it is a actual huge hotspot for trafficking and prostitution. It's very sad. Also, lack of control. Going back to signs that someone might be trafficked. Lack of control. They may not have any possessions. They may be living with the person that is trafficking them. They are not in control of their own money. No financial record or bank account. That is a ginormous red flag, and from some of the people that I work with. They do not have identification. Again, this is very common. You would be surprised of how many of our young people today do not have any type form of identification, or they did have it and it was taken away from them. So, if you have any questions about this, or you think someone might be in a situation where they are being trafficked, please. There are a few resources set up, just how we talk about if you are in fear of possibly becoming homeless, call 211. We have a few numbers that might be helpful. The first one is called Be Free, and text Be Free to 233733. Spelled out, that is Be Free. Again, that is 233733. There's also the Florida Abuse Hotline at 1-806-962-2873. And that is the Florida Abuse Hotline. Once again, that is 1-806-962-2873. And through my research, just the past few weeks on getting some research and some information for you guys, came across a really good nonprofit based out of Florida called lifeboatproject.org. I recommend maybe checking that page out. Had a lot of good information, and they're doing a lot of good in our community. So going back to the poor physical health and lack of control, I have just recently found out about a place that has been exploiting younger people and people they have been taken care of. These are just accusations by a few people that I've known in my work, being out on the street, helping people. And I just wanted to bring this up because this is a form of human trafficking. This place, from what I was told by the person that talked to me and another person that talked to me, let them come in, let them stay in a shed, something along those lines. I don't know completely, but they were being made to work for them and another company, which was all under the table. And then that person was keeping their money and only giving them a tiny little bit. This is a form of trafficking. That instance right there wasn't considered illegal because they're all adults that stay there and they are agreeing to it. But that is a form of trafficking, and it's going on right here where we live. And it's extremely, extremely painful to hear these things and to hear these kids' stories. And so, also, going back to that young man I was talking about, it goes back under the list of reasons, signs that people are being trafficked. They're being forced to live in subpar conditions, living in the same places they work, living in a space that does not have heat. In this case, it's air conditioning, and living with many people at the same time in a small space. This goes for another person that was staying at this place. Again, these are just accusations from the people that stayed there, saying they were sharing one bed with 4 people. And then you have to think that for those people, is it better to be on the street, or is it better to be have a roof over your head, but you're still sharing it with 3 other people? Just a thought. And also, most of the time, these people are being paid under minimum wage. They're not getting a safe place to stay. And the job it's mostly manual labor. Again, they're all over 18, so nothing illegal here. They're choosing to do it. But it is still a problem. A few statistics here. 224.9 million people are victims of forced labor in the United States as of 2017. These are the earliest facts I could find. 4.8 million people are trafficked for forced sexual exploitation. 4.1 million people are trafficked for forced labor in states imposing forced labor laws. Women and girls are more affected by human trafficking, accounting for 71% of all victims. That is mind-blowing. So basically, it's the female population that is being exploited for this type of work. Again, if you're not aware of it, you don't know what's going on, and it is a huge problem. When I started working with the homeless, I thought that was it. I thought that was the major problem, that people are living on the streets, that people don't have places to go, that there are people that are hungry and need our help, and they do. Absolutely. Just coming to the studio today, I've passed 4, 5, 6 people standing at stoplights, walking up and down, asking for money. And that is a part. That is just a small puzzle piece in this huge, huge puzzle of helping the homeless, displaced, trafficked people, human trafficking people. It's very sad. We have a lot of work to do. Please continue to be warriors, and we can make a difference out there. Please reach out to us. Always reach out to us at outreachwarrior@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, and we'd love to hear your stories, or someone that you might know that is going through a hard time and that would like to share their story with us here at Outreach Warrior. Again, please feel free to email us at outreachwarrior@gmail.com. And if you would like any more information about our meetup, hopefully at the end of May, beginning of June, for Project Clean, email us as well. I'd like to thank my producer, Tom, for doing all that he does here at Outreach Warrior. He is always on the clock, trying to make the show better, trying to promote us. And please share. If you like what you hear here, please share. Please tell your friends. We are small, we are trying to grow, and we appreciate all your help. And thank you to all my friends who have donated for Project Clean. And we will talk to you next week. Thank you for listening to Outreach Warrior.
Living here for centuries, yet I feel so lost. Men will do just what they please, never count the cost. And who's gonna help me find my way back home? And who's gonna help me find my way? And who's gonna help me find my way back home? So I